Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the what is it? What are we calling it now? Then I freaked it. I came up
You
with the
came
name
up
and
with
I forgot.
that! You were like, they need to have a podcast called Then I Freaked It. And you're like, wait a minute. We could be that.
We could be the freaked it.
We could Then I Freaked It.
We could be the Then I Freaked It podcast. They don't need to make it. We can make it. We can be Then I Freaked It podcast.
Alright, so what if for this episode I streamed Ridge Racer and we all talked about it?
And then we talked about how good the soundtrack is, because that's
It
what I
is.
like
It's
about it.
fucking good.
You guys know that song "Bald" by JPEG Mafia?
Yeah.
That's a Ridge Racer sample.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You guys know Super Monkey Ball?
Yeah, I know Super Monkey Ball
That
is on the
fucking that shit is
GameCube.
crazy. That fucking.
I've actually
soundtrack.
I've never played Super Monkey Ball.
Bro, I used to go in the McDonald's play place and they had the GameCubes set up and they had one that was like permanently playing Super Monkey Ball and I would tear that shit up. I would cry when my mom tried to peel me away from the screen of the Super Monkey Ball machine. The controller was fucking like in two pieces and covered in slobber, like Cheeto dust, which doesn't make sense because it's McDonald's. Who the fuck's bringing Cheetos into
Aw,
McDonald's?
bro. Have you ever been outside McDonald's? They're just like the craziest motherfuckers at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna, the, where do we live?
I think we said Connecticut last time.
Yeah, we moved to Connecticut.
Yeah.
So
New Jersey relocation soon.
You know the big city we live near, right?
Yeah.
Hartford, Connecticut. So
Yeah.
downtown, I was walking around and like, well, you guys know, well, fuck, I can't say that either because I'm gonna dox us.
Oh no.
Oh no.
They're gonna come kill us while we're recording.
No.
You know the part of downtown in that city where it's like a bunch of kind of sort of fancy restaurants and they have like Earthbound and you got to park in a garage and then walk there.
Yeah.
And they have
Sure.
big metal art sculptures.
Big city.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that part of big city.
Yeah, big city.
Yeah.
It has a name and it's two words and they start with M and S and I can't say it because I'm gonna dox us.
Yeah. Massachusetts.
I'm gonna dox us to our yeah, Massachusetts.
Even though he said MS, I wanted to say
Massachusetts.
I'm from blank city. You know the
I'm
song?
Yeah.
But like, there's just homeless people that congregate there, like in like big like colonies.
You're not implying
I
they're
saw this-
responsible for the McDonald's, right?
No. Unrelated. You said there's some odd characters outside of McDonald's. You reminded me of this thing that happened to me a couple of
Oh,
weeks ago.
yeah?
So I watched. There's like a little park right to the side of MS. I'm just gonna say Market Square. Right beside Market Square, there's like this park, like this small. It's really just like a 1 acre grass field with like a bench.
Yeah.
But it's like where the homeless people congregate during the day, and then at night they go sleep under a bridge because it's warm.
And there's no rain under a bridge.
And there's no rain or snow under a bridge.
Yeah.
But I watched this dude walk shirtless and like really big, like this skinny shirtless homeless man with a backwards ball cap and big cargo shorts walk by this trash can, upon which there were some shoes that were obviously way too big for him and also ruined, like they had holes and the soles were falling off. And he walks up to the trash can, puts his hand on the shoes, looks both ways, and then he does like a little oh yeah and grabs them and walks away with like a really quite the strut in his step. He's really happy to have stolen those shoes from the trash can. And then I'm walking through the little like garden where they have all those big like metal welding sculpture art things, which I'm sure they paid those artists a ridiculous amount of money, and they're like, some of them are like it's just trash welded together. So big ups to the
Get on
guys
that.
who sold the city that, because they made immeasurable profit.
Yeah, I've seen the shit. It's
Some of them are really
they
neat.
just put stuff together. They look cool.
Yeah, no, they are really neat, but it's like it costs them nothing to make those, and I'm sure the city paid them like in total for all of those sculptures there, probably a couple $1 million, which is insane. But
Really, I
Uh,
wouldn't say a couple million, but maybe
this
you're
dude,
right.
this homeless dude, he looked like a 40-year-old Star Wars guy. Yeah, does that paint a picture? You know,
Yeah.
a guy who's like 40 and he's really into Star Wars, but he was homeless, very apparently, because his clothes were unwashed.
How are you
his
gonna
hair
be
was unwashed,
homeless
And he had holes in all
and a
his clothes.
Star
He may
Wars
have
fan?
chosen to dress like that.
Star Wars
he had, like-
fans are
he also had a-
exclusively billionaires.
He had like
how they
really
afford the
long
lightsaber.
hair, but he had like the friar, like where the top of his head is fucking bald, like a monk haircut. You know, he had like the donut on his head, but it was really fucking long. And he just walks up to me. I'm carrying this bag full of Mexican candy around, and he goes, "What you got there?" And he talked just like that, and he had like a nerd lisp. He's like, "What you got there?" And I'm like, "A bunch of Mexican candy." And I'd already like one of them was a popsicle, like that you dip in like this spicy sour powder. And I had already licked it and then put it back in the bag, and I was like, and it was the only thing I had left. I had already eaten the rest of the candy. I was like, "It's a bunch of Mexican candy." He's like, "Oh, that's cool. Can I try it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I already licked this, but you can just have it." He's like, "Fuck yeah, sweet!" And he just like runs off with this popsicle. He's so fucking happy to eat a popsicle that had already been in my mouth.
You know, to
Really
be fair,
fucking
I'd be
funny.
excited about that.
Would you?
Anything from your
Yeah.
mouth is pretty much gold.
Pretty much gold. Mike has a plot to
We
clone.
made a whole show about it.
We did? Oh, we did.
Then I fucked it.
Then I fucked it. Then I fucked it and cummed in it and camed in it and fumbled it. And
I got the
tumbled
bag
it
and
flipped it.
freaked it.
I got the bag and freaked it. You get the bag. What's the class? You get the bag and tumble
Fuck it
it.
and
I get
cum
the
in
bag and fuck it and come in it.
That's the line, yeah.
Yeah. A piss in your toilet. The classic.
Yeah, that shit's awesome. That shit is actually hilarious. We can't
It's
say the
like-
rest, but like
yeah,
imagine.
Ethan has like a long history of just like fucking up rap lyrics in the most hilarious way. One time, and the funniest ones are when he does it unintentionally. What is it? What song is it? ASAP Ferg says "Suck on my nuts like planners," and Ethan was like reciting it, and he said "Suck on my dick like planners." Like all the nuance and like everything's lost. And then,
Yeah, the entire pun is gone.
one time we were talking about how genius Lil Wayne is with it. Like he's stupid and his bars usually suck, but every once in a while he has that diamond in the rough that pokes through, and it's just the most genius bar you've ever heard. Like bitch,
Yeah.
real G's move in silence like lasagna, but Ethan.
Yeah, that
forgot
shit is genius.
Yeah, Ethan forgot how it goes, and he said bitch, real N words move in silence like lasagna. And it's just completely lost. Like
Yeah, the entire fucking joke is gone.
it's so fucking funny.
Alright, so that was a good episode.
All right, yeah. Cut the recording. We did fucking great, Micah.
think so?
Stellar
Yeah.
fucking episode.
Ooh, that was 10 minutes.
We got.
Oh, we gotta do that like 5 more times, actually.
I think we should start doing hour and a half long if we can manage it.
hour and a half?
Yeah, we record for like an hour and 45, and then if there's anything that needs cut out, which inevitably there will be,
I think an hour is fine. An hour 10.
an hour
Hour
20. is
10 normally gets us what we need. It's not like we're trying to fill a time slot.
We're I love wasting time on the podcast by talking about how we're gonna do the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's like a
Awesome.
really good method. If you're trying to start a podcast, just talk about what you're doing, like right now on, like, you know,
My
being
so
the podcast.
I call this dude my cousin, but I'm not like actually. So my cousin, right? His dad is my uncle, my mom's brother, right? But his mom is not related to me except for by marriage. But
You've
her-
already lost me. I I suck at this whole.
Okay, my
family
cousin's
shit.
cousin. Okay, basically,
That's still your
he's not
cousin.
related. No, he's not. There's no blood relation. It's kind of on my family tree. But anyway, you guys know him. There's really no reason to say his name, but he went to high school with us. He was an annoying, skinny ginger kid. If that rings any bells, you might know who I'm talking about. He was
No
also a hype
bells.
beast before it was cool to be a hype beast, which was like
I
props
think I know
to
where that
him.
is.
Props to him.
Can you just say his name so I can?
His name rhymes with Shmaleb Owl.
Like, well, you don't gotta say his first
Yeah.
name.
Okay. Well, I've got no clue who this guy is.
Okay, it's
Hey,
Bruh.
yeah. You just censor it for me, please, Mike. Just in
I'm
case.
leaving that in.
Okay, whatever.
He's gonna be fiending when he hears that we said his
So
name on the podcast.
when we were like 11, all of us, me and my cousin, and then my cousin's cousin Caleb, were all obsessed with like trying to make a YouTube channel, and
Mhm.
so
Like
I
everyone
haven't
was.
I haven't told you guys about this, but there are YouTube channels out there with hilarious videos of us doing Nerf zombie invasions. It's videos of me when I was fat and 11 and had a really thick country accent. And they're very poorly edited and poorly scripted, and everything about them sucks.
Can we watch him on the
Um,
podcast?
No.
Right
no.
now?
I won't even let you guys watch them in private. They're that bad.
Nah.
It's worse than the shit Micah made when he was little.
What's wrong with what
like-
I made?
Far and away.
I like to watch the videos Micah made.
Yeah.
They're great for. These don't even have like.
Which
comedic
videos are you
value.
talking
They're
about? Are you
just
talking about the
painful to
one? Are you
watch.
talking about the coffee songs?
That
Yeah.
one is like pretty
No, the
funny
one
to
where you
watch
play, like,
because you don't
Flash
even
games.
do anything.
Let me
in the coffee
explain.
song
You just
video.
can't tell because the audio you're hearing is coming through my laptop back in, so
Right.
it's hard
Well,
to tell
and-
what's going on.
anyway, he made
And I was
the-
changing it. Okay.
We used to do like weird. They were like like sort of comedy skit videos, but they were also like, in a way, we were trying to do like like the type of video that you would label a machinima, where it's like you're telling a story in a video game. We were also kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my
trying to
gosh!
go
You just,
for that
I'm putting that
vibe.
on my list. I need to make a machinima.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go back and make a machinima. That's kind of what I was going for when we made that GTA 5 movie. But
yeah,
that's
oh yeah,
like
the
dick.
DMX video that we didn't upload.
yeah, but no, okay. It was like skit. It was supposed to be kind of funny, like Smosh, but it was also like a little scripted story type thing, and it was always involved zombies and airsoft or Nerf guns in some way. But we all made the pivot to gaming channels pretty quickly. And for me, what that meant was on my tiny Philips shitty LCD 21-inch television that was probably not even 720. It probably wasn't even HD, I'll be honest. I would stack up a bunch of DVD cases and point my iPod at it and record it, and I would turn the speakers up really loud so the iPod mic could pick up the TV speakers, and then I would just talk. I wouldn't record audio like separately and then overlay it or anything. No, none of that shit. I would just talk while I was recording it. It was live commentary.
Mm-hmm.
But then I made the move to PC, and I was the only one who did it, so I could like make real fucking. I could screen capture, and I had a microphone, and I was really balling. But Caleb had more subscribers because he would do like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 emblem tutorials, but he did it. He did it on his mom's iPhone 5S, so his quality was better than mine when I had the iPod. And I remember he made this video, and it was like, yeah, so basically, guys, I'm gonna get what are they called? A YouTube partnership where they had like all those networks. I'm joining a network. So what that means for me is basically I'm gonna get paid to make Black Ops 2 emblem tutorials for you guys. And that was the whole video. It was about a minute long, and then it showed his like really hilarious outro card, which was 11-year-old Caleb with really fake six-pack abs like photoshopped onto him, and loud dubstep music.
I
Said,
want to
"Thanks
see
for
this.
watching." It's gone. It's long gone. He took it down.
It's always
But-
gone.
Yeah, anytime that people are like talking about Like they're making a piece of media where they talk about how they're making the media. Like if it's a YouTuber making a video about like going forward, this is how I'm going to do YouTube, or
Should I
like
do that for my
podcasters
I'm gonna
talking
make
about
a
making
list.
the podcast on the
My-
podcast.
My favorite like person who's ever done a video like that is Donkey. Just put out a video and he was like, "I'm done making good videos."
Oh yeah, that was
And
a,
like
that's a
after
classic,
that,
though.
for like 2 months straight, he really stopped. Like he would try to daily upload. Like it wasn't always consistent. And he would just daily upload the stupidest shit ever. But like of course he's Donkey. It was still funny. But
yeah,
like
'cause he
all of
has
his
like
videos-
comedic talent, so like
yeah,
everything
all
he
of his
does.
like a bunch of his videos were like 5 minutes long. Like barely anything happened in him. He just like made a joke or two. Also, he started streaming a lot around then. And he had that fucking Jake Paul poster. Like in any video that featured his like face and his webcam. Like he had, I don't know how he fucking did it, but it fell down every
Dude, my
episode, and then his wife
favorite-
would come and tape it back up even
My
worse.
favorite story about like one of my favorite stories of Ethan's. Ethan should be the next guest. Ethan should be the fourth guy on Sunday, if we can get him on. But like, so I don't know if you
We
guys
had him
know.
on for the episode before last.
Yeah, but he barely talked. We need to get him
That's
in here
true.
for real because he's a funny dude and he has a lot of good stories to tell. But you guys know who Brick Nerman is? The guy on TikTok who was like, "Hey, Clout Gang, if you like girls," and then he starts crying and he goes, "Smash the like button." He has a bunch of other like big, famous little comedy sketches like that, and he got pretty big. He did this thing where he was like, "I'm starting a brick company. My name's Brick Nerman. I don't even sell bricks, so I have to start a brick company." And this dude made fucking casts to make bricks, and he made like hundreds of bricks in his fucking garage that said Nerman on them, and that was his whole thing.
That's
he made,
fucking
like,
awesome.
he made like $4,000 or something off selling bricks that said Nerman on them because people thought it was funny. But anyway, he's like Jewish or something, and he has like an Israeli flag up in his room. I think it may also just be like he wants to have an Israeli flag up in his room for whatever reason. Maybe he's just a Zionist. I have no clue. But yeah, like Ethan said he used to like, there's this really small Twitch streamer he used to follow or something, and he would have like so he used to go by a different name, not Brick Nerman. He was like 10, and he would come into this dude's stream that Ethan watched before anyone knew who he was, and he would just scream the N-word with the Israeli flag in the background. And then he got famous making funny videos on TikTok like 5 years later or something. That's one of my favorite Ethan stories.
Brick Nerman, huh?
Brick Nerman.
Rick Nerman soldier.
I'm a Brick Nerman soldier. What have you guys been getting into recently? You got any extracurricular activities outside of gaming you've been
I've been
doing?
applying for jobs and eating rice and applying for jobs and eating rice.
Yeah, okay, so Mike had just found out about rice. No
Bro,
one
wait
told
until he
him.
finds out about quinoa. That shit's fucking insane.
Never had it, but I don't even know what the fuck it is, honestly.
Rice makes me fart if I eat it in large quantities.
Dude.
Quinoa does not do any of that.
Gmod does not do any of that.
Gmod does not do that. When are we gonna do that thing?
Oh
where-
yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
do the Dark RP thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
gonna be the
We should have
best
done that this episode.
Honestly, you know, I'm probably not gonna sleep tonight. Let's get 2 in today. Let's get 2 in today.
Dude.
Let's record this
Dude,
normal
dude.
episode and then hop on Gmod. Let's
That
get
would
2 in today.
That would be 3 in 1 week. Yeah, guys, you don't know about our schedule, but we're kind of cracked at this. We're doing 2 in 1
Yeah,
week.
then we
just
can
for-
But now we're doing
just,
3.
just for you, Germany.
just for you, our 7 German listeners.
You know,
you know,
you
I
guys
was
even
looking at our-
understand this right now? I bet I don't even like Germany that much.
whoa,
Hey,
you can't alienate
whoa,
our audience. We
whoa.
have to pander, Micah.
I'm
Germany's our
sorry.
favorite country.
Yeah,
I'm a German nationalist.
Germany is awesome.
Ich bin ein penis. I don't even know what I just said. I think I just said I'm a penis. I have no fucking idea. But
I'm a penis.
I'm a penis. I'm a penis. I'm a penis. I'm
You know,
a penis.
how did
I'm a
our
penis.
podcast get into the German guys' laps? Because it was
I
on
don't fucking know.
Spotify,
And
right?
the funny part is, like, yeah, it is. But if you look at our stats on Spotify, we have like a few hundred listens, like 100 and something, almost 200 listens. But it's only 7 people. So I think that while it might be one German guy that makes up 30% of our audience that just keeps re-watching the podcast. He really likes us.
Where did you get the 7 people statistic?
If you log into Anchor on mobile, it tells you your
Okay,
estimated
I've never
audience,
done that.
which is how many unique people have listened to your playlist. Not how many plays it has, but how many individual people have played it. And it's 7.
So on
Our
Spotify
estimated
we have
audience
7.
I guarantee on YouTube, or maybe it's Spotify. I don't know. Caden, I bet he's like a lot of our listens actually.
I've listened.
He
to each
talks about
episode
how he
about
listened
3 times. I've
Yeah,
contributed about 9
Caden's
listens.
done that too. I said this in the last episode, I'm pretty sure. I don't listen to the podcasts after I
I
record
just
them.
run out of other podcasts to listen to, and
I don't
also
listen to
it's kinda-
podcasts. This isn't
well,
even my bread and butter.
I
I'm just
listen to
here.
podcasts 8 hours a day, but
I know,
so it's like
you're the guy.
it's also like I'm in Discord with my friends at work because I'm just listening to you guys fucking crack jokes. But it's also weird because I'm listening to myself crack jokes.
I bet the last episode's very nice for you to listen to because
Yeah,
you
'cause
don't
it's-
have that weird feeling.
Yeah, it's not surreal. I had a point to make and then it exited my brain.
That's why I don't listen to him. I don't want to hear my own voice.
I got over that.
Zach, did you
Yeah,
listen
no,
to
it's not-
Donkey's
it's
podcast
not-
when he had one?
Huh?
Did you listen to Donkey's podcast when he had one?
I listened to like the first 2 episodes.
I listened to every episode. When they stopped making it, I got so fucking sad.
Yeah.
That shit was good.
It's not that like the weird the thing everybody experiences because your voice vibrates your ears. That's why it's like that when you talk. So recording's different. It's not that hearing my voice is weird. It's just like I don't want to listen to myself. Like it just feels narcissistic to go back and listen to something I made.
Thoughts and I expressed them.
Yeah,
on recording.
I already said that. I remember saying that. I remember Charlie making a joke back, and I laughed. I was there.
I don't need to hear it again.
I don't need to hear that.
Well, I got a special type of retard, so it's okay. I enjoy it.
Hey, that's just more listeners.
Yeah. No, what I was gonna say is that we can record 3. I'm probably not gonna be able to record one next week. So listen, here's what I'm thinking: we record one today. And that one of the ones we record today can go up for this week.
It's funny because we're 23 minutes in and we spent easily 5 minutes talking about
Shut up,
what
bro.
we're doing.
Shut up, bro. Shut up.
This is what we're gonna do. We do this every podcast. We just talk about our plans.
Yeah, but I feel like
cool.
this is more like we've only been recording for 23 minutes.
25% of the
It's fine.
podcast is like, here's what we're gonna do, gang.
It's A-okay. We record another one tonight. That can go up on the Patreon RSS feed that nobody is going to subscribe to ever.
Which one? This one?
Wait, no, you're saying the
One of them
Dark RP guest is like a Patreon exclusive? Because I feel like
we
that
could do
one's...
that. We could do that.
No, that
And
one's
then the
like
one where
too
you record
cool. I feel like
Sunday
that's a
can
good
be
hook.
next week.
I feel like we shouldn't do exclusives on Patreon like anywhere near right now. If we want to upload like
Yeah.
an uncensored version where we dox everybody, I'm okay with that.
Well, what I'm thinking is like if there's no episodes, what incentive would anyone ever have to subscribe in the first?
You can
place? How would
follow
we pick up?
Patreons.
Basically, well,
Oh, okay.
no, we just have the Patreon sitting right now, and then
Yeah,
we,
we'll just leave it like
get
that.
We get a follower, like an install. Or,
Then we
no,
activate it.
That's
We
for games.
start.
Yeah, we
plugging
get
it.
a follower base, and then we're like, that's right. Did you know there was a Patreon? I bet you did.
And there's hundreds of episodes ready to go. And it's
Yeah,
just me
but
talking
no, I
for
think
40 minutes.
The Dark RP guest, I think that should be a regular episode because
Well-
I feel like just the clickbait of like, yeah, we find some guy in Dark RP and record a podcast.
I'm gonna
with him
wrap
might
up
be good.
us talking about making the podcast while we're recording the podcast real quick, but I got one more thing to say. I feel like we're not gonna be able to get a dude in Dark RP to sit and talk to us in Dark RP for a full hour. So maybe it'll be a short
Yeah, no,
episode and it can just be a bonus this week. We'll have 2.
Maybe I was thinking about like a couple ways we could get that guy. Like we just get in trouble and we just keep him on. Like it's
Oh, we can just keep. Yeah.
And we just
stringing him along and making.
Yeah,
him
we keep
talk
stringing the
forever.
admin along because he has to keep talking to us.
Yeah. Well, no, they won't. At a certain point, they'll just give up and then put you in. They'll put you in timeout and leave you alone because they have other shit to do. What, like, really just confuses me about that? I've talked to Gabe because Gabe runs Gmod servers.
Yeah.
Those guys don't get paid on most servers. They don't get paid.
They treat that shit like a 9 to 5.
I know, and
But
I
they
thought that
don't
they
get
did.
paid.
But the thing is that like most of them are just the owner's friends, but they sit there for like a good solid 4 to 6 hours a day at least, and they treat that shit like they run that Taco Bell like a fucking Navy ship. Like, what are they? What incentive do you have? And they're like shitty servers too. It's like. Dark RP is not if you were like if there was a community that you were serving and you cared about them, or if it was like actual role play that you cared about, it would make a different. It would like make sense to me, but it's not. It's a dark RP, and like a lot of those servers have like a community, like a solid base of people that play on them of like maybe 12. So you're serving a community of 12 people for $0 an hour, 6 hours a day. Like, what are you doing?
I think we should explain what a Gary Smart Dark RP is. I feel like my
No,
Do we
anyone
need to
anyone
explain that?
no.
Okay, no, we shouldn't have to because I want. You know, you gotta weave your community just the right way.
Exactly.
We gotta get the people coming back. That
Every
know what a
person that
Gary's
listens
Mod-
to us needs to know what Gary's Mod
You
Dark
need
RP.
to know what
It'd-
Gary's Mod Dark
If you
RP
It'd
don't-
be
is.
if you
so
don't,
easy
go
to
ahead,
You are,
click
we're
off, go listen
gatekeeping
to
our
fucking.
own. We're
listen
gatekeeping our
to-
own series. If you don't know what the fuck that is, get out. You shouldn't watch the next episode.
Go listen to Joe Rogan. you fucking-
Yeah, go listen to
Fuck.
Alex Jones, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, if you don't know what Gary's Mod Dark RP is, we don't want your money. We don't want your listens. Get the fuck out of here.
Huh.
Micah just casually racking the slide on his Glock 19.
Yeah, what the hell are you fucking with?
See, I have a problem.
It's called.
It's his fucking controller.
It's
It's
awesome.
his little gizmo.
It's actually 2 chip clips, and I'm making them kiss.
How do you have
mean,
chip
cool.
clips?
Fuck. You fucking incumbent in them.
Yeah.
Bro, fucking Eamon. You guys have probably met Eamon for a grand total of 6 seconds. We should get him on.
I
here.
don't know
That's
who that
another
is,
guy.
bro.
But like,
Who the fuck is Eamon?
That's
He
a
has like
fake name. You made that up.
He has like a demon name. Yeah.
he's in this Discord. He's popped in. He's
There's a lot of
he's-
people in this Discord, bro.
Okay, he's basically David from Arizona. Like the whitest Mexican guy you've ever heard of. But it's even worse for him because he's a white Mexican guy, but he lives in Arizona, so he should just be Mexican. But he made the decision to be white, and I respect it.
You think we could get David Thrasher on and make him pretend to be a rapper?
That's what we need. We just need to get one of us to come in here and pretend. We could become the rapper
Yeah, what if
interview
I-
podcast, the
what
local
if
rapper
I-
interview podcast, and
what
one
if
of
I
us just
learn-
comes in here and pretends to be a local rapper.
Yeah, what if I like get really good at doing like a different voice that sounds completely alien from my own, and I put on like a filter that just makes it sound like I have a bad mic, so it covers it up a little better. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm a rapper. I'm from Massachusetts.
So on your little beach trip, how much did Ethan like try to convince you guys that you should do psychedelics? Because that's like his thing.
Never.
Really, he didn't even bring up like, bro, you guys have to eat penis
He
mushrooms.
never told me to eat penis mushrooms. No.
Have you guys heard the story about how Nate like fucking ruined an entire night for like 12 people because he
No.
was losing his mind on albino penis envy psilocybin
Dude,
mushrooms?
What did you just say?
Yeah, you made that up.
It's a real thing. Yeah, he lost his fucking mind, and everybody was trying to babysit him, and I might have also maybe eaten penis, and then I was trying to like. So I'm like not actually all there, and I'm trying to find a way to communicate to these people that no, what he doesn't need is for you to call more people here to try and calm him down. What he needs is for all of you to fucking leave, turn the lights out, and put on some dumb baby shit on the TV so he can go, oh, wow. And sure enough, after like 4 hours of them calling people over and trying to get them like to calm him down, everyone leaves. It's just me and him. He had locked himself in his room because it was too much for him, I guess. And I like walk up to the door and I go, "Hey Nate, are you in there?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, fucking Kroger barcode scanning the world is falling and it's coming apart and we need to put it all back." And like he was basically feeling like the way to describe what he was experiencing, I think best was that he was seeing like a slideshow of all of humanity at once. And I was like, well, I'm gonna put on like the bumpers that they run on Adult Swim on the TV. If you want to come out here and sit with me,
Now,
you're
why would you
welcome
go and
to.
do something like that?
Yeah,
Also,
that
I
would
was, like-
fucking scare him, I bet.
No, it was actually that's what it took because he loves that shit. That's one of his favorite things to watch.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm gonna put on one of his favorite things. I'm gonna sit here and talk to him and have a conversation about school with him. And sure enough, like 20 minutes in, he's back to perfectly normal. And we just sit there. We go, holy fucking shit! The colors are talking, and that was it. But no, this dude was freaking. And then when he was
Did he
coming
really say
down-
Kroger barcode?
Yes, he said, barcode scanning, Kroger, UPC. We broke the world. It's all coming back. We need to put it back. It's all coming together. And then he would just, like, he would have brief moments of lucidity where he'd start belting out the lyrics to the Kendrick Lamar song that we were listening to. And then he'd just go right back to it and he'd be like, Neanderthals, cave paintings, it's all coming together. It's all back. We need to put it back. I broke the world. I broke the world. And then he starts coming down and he starts asking me about some girl that wasn't even there. He was like, did I say anything weird in front of Vanessa? And I was like, who the fuck is Vanessa? That's not her name. I don't know who the fuck he was. Hannah, maybe. I don't know. But then while he was freaking out, one of the things he said, he's just like going crazy, saying all the words, like just listing off his entire lexicon, like Kroger, barcodes, fucking Pegasi Zentorno, I don't know, fucking just all the words, and then he just goes, he pauses, he stares at the floor, he like looks at his hands, he turns his hands over, and then flips them back, and he's looking at his palms again, and then he just goes, "What happened to the N-word?" And then while he's coming back, while I'm reeling him back into the world, into sanity, we're watching Off the Air, and he just says, "How many times did I say the N-word?" And I go, "Nate, you didn't. You didn't." So I think what we learned, because you learn every time you trip, you learn something, whether it be about yourself or your. It's a valuable experience. You learn something every time, even if you don't have a good time. Like you'll leave with some sort of understanding of
Yeah,
something.
you'll be like,
That's
"Who
the-
owns my masters?"
That's the
Yeah.
part I fucking doubt.
No, it really, in my experience, it does. Like it is like that. Like 100% every time I've exited my trip, like with some like either coming to closure over something or like having an understanding about something that I just couldn't see before. It sounds really stupid and campy and cheesy, but
It does. That's the
I
part
thought
for
so
me.
too,
Like,
and then I did it, and it was like, holy shit,
it
it's
just
actually
it
real.
just sounds way too cheesy. Like
It's
it
real,
sounds
but
it sounds like the Dave plot device, which is what it fucking was.
But no, it's accurate. Maybe you don't come to like as grand of a conclusion as like in Dave or like the fucking episode of Atlanta where Al trips or whatever. You might not be like a holy shit, what am I doing with my career? Is my family out
Owns
to
my
get me? Who owns my
masters?
masters? It won't be as crazy as that. It'll just be like you'll come out understanding like I stress too much about small things and it's preventing me from enjoying like certain aspects of my life. And like it's nothing as big as like holy fucking shit, I just saw myself and now I have to record music. I have divine inspiration from God who's actually just me but bald inside my head or whatever the fuck the Dave episode was. But yeah, no, he just kept asking me, how many times did I embarrass myself tonight? And I said, Nate, buddy, the entire time. You asked us what happened to the N-word, so.
What happened to the
What
N-word?
happened to
And then
us?
after that experience, the next day, he convinced a bunch, like all of his dorm mates, that they needed to do the same thing, and they had never tripped before. Nate was experienced. He'd handled himself well on psychedelics several times before that, and that was the first time he had like I wouldn't even call it a bad experience. He said he had like a perfectly fine time. He wasn't actually freaking out like we thought he was. Like it sounded like he was. He said, "Yeah, I was just like a lot of things. I was just thinking about everything." And but like the next day he convinces his dorm mates who've never tripped before that they need to take the same dose of the evil penis mushrooms, which are like twice as potent as normal mushrooms or whatever. I don't know the numbers, and they just strip naked and start jerking off and fucking trying to run through the hallways of their dorm naked and fucking
No way.
cuddling and naked and like saying just insane shit and trying to bite each other.
They turned into zombies.
It's because they like attention and they like to play it up. Like when they get drunk, they start screaming. Like, whatever. Dylan, welcome to the podcast. How you doing tonight, brother?
Good.
He's our fourth guy.
Expo today and saw underage children very scarily, almost naked on blankets.
Those were body pillowcases, and they're not children. Let me educate you a little bit. Those aren't children.
Young teen.
One of them was literally a child. Actually,
They're
not a
40,000
teenager, a
year old
child.
ladies, 40,000-year-old vampire ladies trapped in children's
Is
bodies.
Zach is the girl from I don't know? Is it Demon Slayer, the one with the thing in her mouth?
Yeah.
Is she not like 10 years old?
She's like 15, I thought. I don't
No
know.
way,
I haven't watched
It's
Demon
okay,
Slayer,
guys,
but I
'cause
think that's what someone said.
Japan is 12.
That's not true.
I can say anything I want.
Yeah, we can just make up other countries' laws. We don't live there.
Yeah, I don't fucking
In,
live there.
in Australia, there isn't even an age of consent, I'm pretty sure. I don't fucking know.
In South Korea, they actually have Squid Games.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, you're forced to reconfirm your gender identity at the age of 14, and that's why they have so many ladyboys.
What?
What the fuck?
The government comes to your door. It's like the census, like when you're 14 and they knock
Come
they
to your
bust
house, they're
door
like,
down.
"What's your
When-
gender, buddy?"
And they
When you're
point the
when you're about
militia.
to turn 14, there's like a guy outside like checking his watch.
Yeah, it's called a
like,
Vietnamese bat mitzvah because they're
waiting,
Jewish.
waiting for the exact moment that you turn 14, and as soon as the little watch alarm goes off on it, what's the watch with the silly digital watch that Charlie likes to buy?
The Casio F91W.
That's it. They have those, and when the little alarm goes off, they knock on your door really loud, and they
No,
hand
it's
you a sheet
actually
of paper.
the government conscripts the local militia, the guy who was born with a cigarette in his mouth and an AK in his hand, who has no teeth, to come point a AK at your head on the morning of your 14th birthday, and he says, "Are you still a man?"
And if you say no, he hands you a sheet of paper. You have to sign it.
And then they send makeup to your door every day.
They send makeup.
Can you imagine being like so like in like all those like Asian countries, they have one religion. I'm about to like make a point that's like a big point of political contention and has been for centuries, and there's really no point or humor to it. But like, can you imagine being a guy who doesn't like is not a member of the one religion in one of those countries? Like, imagine living in Pakistan and not being Muslim. Like the entire country is
You're living
based
in the
around
wrong place.
Islam. Yeah. Like imagine being a Jewish guy in China.
Imagine just being in China. China is like the worst place to fucking live.
Hey, no, listen, we got to pick our enemies. And I like China.
Yeah, I like China because their population is very large and they could possibly be listening.
And also, they have just like completely, entirely revamped their military system in an effort to equip themselves to invade the country of Taiwan. And I have no comments on the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't
Good
like
on them.
Yeah, so I actually don't like him. I don't think you should live there. You want to know why? Because there's this law. Charlie, make up a funny law.
So when you're 12,
You convinced me. Is the Vietnam Law real? I was convinced.
No.
I can believe that.
No,
I can
that's
believe
not
that
real
one.
at all.
no, it's. I don't even think Vietnam has like a large population of ladyboys.
You just said that.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason to think that they would. I was just like, would they? I don't know if they would come to.
I don't
us and be like,
remember
"What's your
which
gender?"
Southeast Asian country it is that is famous for ladyboys. And honestly, I probably should. Is it Taiwan? No, it's not Taiwan. That's Little China.
It's
Okay,
the
also,
Philippines.
like, listen, I understand that like Taiwan is the original Chinese government, and they were ran off by communists, and they were forced to like hide out on the island that is Taiwan, and like whatever they're the original Chinese, but they're also just like racist fascists, and like it's an ethno state. It's Han Chinese people who believe that China should only be Han Chinese people and should only be controlled by Han Chinese people. And the Communist Party was like, no, there are a lot of other ethnic groups here in China that should be represented in our government, and they should not be like killed because they're not Han Chinese people. And Taiwan was like, no, and then they started a war where the farmers won, and then yeah, whatever.
So I should burn my.
But then
ladyboy
also the
passport?
current Chinese government
You should
just
bring
like
your
fucking,
Taiwanese flag, yeah, that you keep in
the
your
current
room.
Chinese government is just like committing genocide against Islamic people in China. So like, I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I don't,
they
that's why,
both
like
they
I
both do
legitimately
that.
I legitimately have no comment on the situation. Whatever happens, happens. I don't live in Taiwan or China.
See,
and I
that's the
doubt
thing.
seriously
I
that it
didn't
will
even
affect
I
me.
didn't even comment on that situation. You're the one who started commenting on it. I just
Yeah,
said
this
I
isn't
don't
a
like the
political
Chinese
podcast. We're
government
gonna
very much.
stop. We're gonna put an end.
Now
to
I know
this
this is
right
a
now.
big point of political contention.
I'm sorry. I've realized the error in my ways. I don't want to talk about politics. I'm also a retarded child who is like my experience. Like I have very little experience. in the
No,
world.
dude, don't let him lie to you. He knows how to meddle.
He's
I know how
40.
to meddle.
He knows how to. He knows how to
27.
weld.
My favorite thing is that like on that episode of the podcast that sucked, where we just we told stories. Actually, I listened back to it. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, it's not. We were just joking.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
just fucking around.
It's not even bad at all. Like it's better than some episodes of podcasts I actually enjoy. But like my favorite part of that is whenever I said, just casually said in conversation, and I'm 27, and I just rocked with that.
And nobody said anything.
No, nobody corrected me or anything.
I'm 27.
Why would I? I believe it.
Yeah, well, it's true. You are
Dude,
27.
one of the like high school teachers at the high school we went to. I didn't need to say that part.
At that high school we went to.
But
The high school we went to.
one of the teachers, like the substitute, we had a teacher that was out for a long time, and
Oh.
the substitute just asked me how old I was, and I told her, well, I'm 27, and she just didn't bat an eyelash or question it at all.
I think
Do
you have power.
Do you guys? I don't remember. This was middle school. This was definitely.
I wasn't
middle
there.
school. Oh, so this is new to you then? We had this substitute teacher. Everyone fucking hated this guy. He was a complete ass. He never did anything. He would just get in, be an asshole, and then he would sit down. But here's the funny thing: once he would sit down, he would just start watching porn.
Oh my god, I know that guy.
Yeah,
I've heard that
yeah.
story.
Yeah, like we had this teacher. He was a substitute teacher. He'd come in, be an ass, sit down, and he would start jerking off.
I remember because
Like,
the whole
obviously he's not a substitute teacher anymore, because he was like well known that he just started to jerk off.
Hey,
But like, I think he got away with that like a couple times.
Micah, I'm gonna ask permission to talk about somebody and use their actual name. Can we talk about Seth, Kathy, and use his real name?
sure.
Do I need to come up with like a fake name for him?
Go ahead.
Come up with a fake name? Is that-
No, no,
yes?
no, no, no.
So,
He has actually doxed people for real, so
no, yeah, so he deserves it. Whatever. Also, I think he'd probably appreciate this story anyway. So, when we were in like I went to all sorts of elementary schools. So for a period of time, I went to the elementary school that you guys went to, and I went with him. He was my next door neighbor. I'm sure I've told you guys this.
Did you go to Did you go to that elementary school?
I did for a year.
Hey,
Yeah, and then they moved me to the other one.
what year?
hey, both of you, leave the
This
town.
is the most generic place that could be.
I was
anywhere.
in Tommy
Hey,
Not
class, and there was someone else in there. I was in Tommy
what?
kindergarten class, and then in first grade they moved me to the other one, and Seth came with me.
Well, here's the thing.
And so
I don't think
What?
Tommy
Leave the
and Seth were at.
leave the town.
yeah, they were. I went with them. I rode the bus to school with Seth every day. He was my next door neighbor.
Hey,
Or-
both.
Elementary.
It's-
It was one of
Hey.
them. Okay, then we
Yeah.
had to fill elementary for kindergarten.
See, this isn't about
Anyway.
us.
Yeah, that's
Anyway. They moved me to the other one whenever they opened it when we were in first grade. That was the first year that other elementary school was open. And first of all, it was a fucking clusterfuck. For like, I started and I'd have a teacher for like a month, and then they'd say, "Oh, actually, we fucked up, and you guys aren't supposed to be in this class." So they'd take like 4 people from like every class and then just make a new class, and they kept doing that for like 3 months. But every time I ended up with Seth Cathy. And so once we finally settled into the class that we would end up being in for the rest of the year, we didn't do anything. That teacher just let us like play arts and crafts. This is first grade, so we're supposed to like, this is when you start real learning. But we didn't. We just fucking watched movies and did arts and crafts. And if you're Seth Cathy, you played with your dick. And that's where I'm going with this story. So, I was we came in and we had like some sort of guest come in from like a STEM program or something, or like Denso, and they're like, "Yeah, guys, so we're going to teach you about science." And what that meant was they were going to give us those little the wax sticks that you could bend and like twist around, and
Yeah,
they
those were
didn't melt,
fucking weird.
but they would stick together.
Yeah.
And we played with those like all day, and that's what learning about STEM meant, was playing with little twisty wax ties. And so, first of all, I caught Seth Cathy stealing all of them from other children. Well, he actually asked them if he could have them, and then they would say, "Well, you
Oh.
can have the blue one." And so he ended up with like 12 blue ones. Anyway, and then he wrapped them around his dick. I watched him shove them in his pants.
Dude.
And then one of the kids there was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to get glasses because I can't see." He told me this, and he says, "But it's a secret. Don't tell anybody. I'm gonna have glasses next week." And so, me being a little shithead I went and told his secret. I told Seth Cathy. I said, "Hey, Tucker has a secret." Also, Tucker was in that class. Tucker, Kobe's friend.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tucker that told me that secret. But
Dude,
anyway.
what if we got Tucker on the podcast?
That would be awesome.
I would do
Anyway, I went and told him, I was like, "Tucker is going to have classes next week." Or I said, "You want to know a secret, Seth?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, Tucker is going to have classes next week." And he said, "That's not a secret. You want to see a secret?" We were lining up to walk out the door. We were lining up to walk out the door, and so like the teacher had turned the lights off in the classroom, and most of the kids had already walked out the door, and so it was really just me and Seth in this dark room with no one else there while the teacher was about to lead everyone down the hallway to the like bus car rider get picked up from school area. And I go, "Well, yeah, I want to know what a real secret is." And he goes, "Okay." And then he goes, he fucking pulled his pants down, shows me his dick that has little wax rods wrapped around it, and then he goes, "That's a secret."
That's the episode title. That's a secret.
Yeah, that's the title of the
That's
episode.
the secret.
And then also, one time we had a field day, which meant so this school fucking sucked. This school is shit. I don't know. I don't think they ever fixed it. They opened it and they had a giant, huge, awesome playground. But first day we go out for recess and we're all like, yeah, we get to hop on the fucking awesome playground. And they go, playground's closed. There's a sinkhole. They built the fucking school and playground on a sinkhole. And like as the year went on, we watched the playground fall into the fucking sinkhole.
That
which is
sounds so
hilarious.
awesome.
The brand new, like probably $100,000. I don't know how much playgrounds cost. I'm not a fucking scientist, but
It's not that
yeah,
much.
you don't know. You're not a
I don't
scientist
think
either.
I'm a
bitch.
scientist.
Yeah, you're not a scientist.
You're
think
not
it's that
a
much.
building scientist. Show me your
Okay.
degree, pussy.
You know what's so
No.
cool about
It
like,
costs $100,000. But so what the real playground was this giant like 40-foot by 40-foot blacktop with nothing on it that we just walked around in circles. So we had a field day, but it started pouring down rain. And me and Seth were on the opposite side from where like the teachers would line up on one side and watch all the kids play from the other side, but we're on the opposite end and it's fucking piss pouring rain, and it had been all morning, but we got a clearing, so they took us out and they're like, we're gonna have a field day today. You're gonna spend the rest of the day on the playground. So we're out there and there are these giant puddles because they also the people they contracted to pour the blacktop didn't pour it even, so there's giant divots in it where water just fills up. And it had no drains on it either. And so there are these giant fucking puddles, and Seth's like, yo, you want to play a game? I'm going to teach you a new game. Run as fast as you can through the puddle. Whoever makes it to the other side first wins. And so we start doing this, and we don't realize it's piss pouring rain. The teachers are calling everyone back in. And we're like the only two kids out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be really funny when I get to the punchline. I just thought about it. So he's like, we don't realize, but everyone else is gone. It's just me and fucking Seth. The teachers just left us out there. They didn't care. They forgot about 2 5-year-old boys on the fucking blacktop. And Seth's like, yeah, we're already wet. We might as well just fucking roll through these puddles really fucking fast. And so we spent another 15 minutes rolling back and forth through these puddles, just getting absolutely soaked and covered in fucking mud. And then our teacher finally realizes that something's up, and definitely negligence on her part. She runs outside and she starts screaming at us, and she's like, boys, why didn't you come inside? So she's trying to place the blame on 2 5-year-old boys for having fun and not realizing that everyone's gone, whenever her literal job is just to make sure that 5-year-olds don't kill each other or die or contract malaria or whatever. So she calls us back inside and she's like, you're in fucking trouble. She didn't say the F word, but like, you're in so much trouble, boys. I'm calling your parents. You're going to get in trouble. They couldn't suspend us. We're 5-year-old boys, so obviously they had to excuse us. And like, we start walking back and she's like, you're going to have to go to the nurse's office and get an extra change of clothes. And I can't confirm or deny because I never asked him, but something really stank. I think what I'm thinking happened, and I'm fairly certain this happened, knowing Seth and the way he was then, I'm like 90% certain that Seth heard new clothes and immediately thought, awesome, I'm going to shit in my pants right now.
No fucking way.
So we get our new clothes, and then she makes us stand up in the doorway to the classroom for the rest of the class. That was our punishment because they couldn't really do anything to us. But yeah, I swear to God, he fucking shat his pants and probably
Awesome.
pissed them. I don't know. Because why wouldn't you just go ahead and do both?
Oh my god.
Like, yeah. And one time I actually got suspended for a day in kindergarten because he made me throw his jacket out the window on the bus. Yeah, that shit was fucking crazy.
That shit sounds fucking insane.
Fucking-
So you don't even know if he did that though.
He smelled like shit. I'm fairly certain he shat his pants.
Like right then and there, like as soon as he got inside, like.
Well, he also
See, that's the thing. Like, when would you just have the time to do that?
I don't know. He could have done it any time when we were out there, like rolling through puddles or whatever. It might have been. Well, we both started crying whenever she started yelling at us. So it might have been he just got.
Oh, so he just
shit
cried
his
so hard he shit his pants. I could buy that.
Yeah, he just shat all up in his fucking drawers. Yeah, and I'm fairly certain that the fucking nurse threw his clothes away. So like, why else would she do that other than he fucking shat in them?
Awesome. So, like, she only threw his clothes away. You got to keep yours.
I got to keep my clothes as far as I remember.
Yeah, he definitely shit his pants then.
Oh man. The funny part is like I could definitely like if I sat down with him I could probably ask him, but you know he doesn't fucking remember. His brain is probably fucking destroyed.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in like a million years.
It's probably best. Dude, I remember like freshman year of high school he was talking to me about busting up Adderall and fucking snorting them on the bus to school. So like I'm sure he's a little frizzle fried.
Should I
I've just been, like, in a
say that
room.
he used to just like randomly like lie about shit?
Oh yeah,
Just, like, for
no,
fun?
he did. Yeah, he would own, but see, it's cool because he would also own up to it. He'd like if you asked him about it, he'd be like, "Yeah, I just fucking lied because I thought it would be funny."
I don't know. I guess I never thought to do that, but like he would always tell stories, and you'd just be sitting there fucking listening to him talk, and you're like, none of this is true. Not even a fucking ounce of this is true.
Well, see,
and he would just keep going.
I've talked to Max about this. You guys didn't know Max in middle school, obviously, but he used to do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Max,
And
Max still fucking pulls that shit. He does it to fuck with people.
yeah, but he didn't do it to fuck with people back then. He just wanted to be cool because he was the new kid. He moved here in 5th grade.
Mhm.
And like he's owned up to it to me. Like he's not like a compulsive liar or like anything like that. He told me he just did it like for one to see if people would believe him, and for two just to see how much clout he could get because he was a new kid or something like that. But like I remember him telling me in middle school, yeah, like my brother's on tour with a big band. He's a famous drummer.
He doesn't even have a brother.
Yeah, I know it was a big thing. He'd always tell us these stories about his brother. Come to find out, does not have a brother. Doesn't he have like a half brother or like a step brother that lives
I
in
think
Connecticut
he
or
has.
something?
No, I think he does have like a half brother or something.
I don't remember because
I believe so.
I got the straight story about it like years later because you know he's obviously he's
One
not-
time
doesn't
he
do
just
shit like that
he
anymore.
like I didn't know anything about Fatal Fury, you know, like the fighting game series. I didn't know anything about it at the time. And like he just told I asked him about it because he seemed to be into it. And he just completely told me like nothing about the plot was true. Like he just made like every single detail up. And then like I didn't like I said, I didn't know anything about it, so like I just was like, yeah, okay. I guess that's the story. He just told me. Why would he lie about that? And, like
remember-
he told me that Terry Bogard was a fucking truck driver. He's
I don't
not.
know
He's
anything
just some
about-
guy.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Well,
so-
yeah, no, but he just gave like the dumbest story ever, and I was like, I guess that's the Fatal Fury plot.
Yeah.
And then like a year later, I actually looked into it. I found out what really happens, and I was like, why did you tell me that? And he was like, yeah, I was just fucking with you.
I've got a morbid story that I'm gonna tell, but first I gotta tell you, Ross tried to convince me in like the 6th grade. I had no clue what Monster Hunter was, and he tried to convince me that he made it.
Oh my god! See,
What
okay.
the fuck?
This is the thing. This is the thing that happens to me. Oh, look at Zane. This
to
is the
work.
thing that happens to me. He's on his phone. I think he's at work.
We're recording the podcast. Say hello.
Yeah. This is the thing that happens to me. It makes it really bad for podcasts, ironically, is like I forget every single detail about myself and every story until something relevant comes up. And
Yeah,
guess
I do
what?
too. I have so many
You
stories.
just did it. There was this girl, 4th grade. It was 4th grade. She told me that it's a Carrie Underwood
Dad.
song. It's called Temporary Home. She told me that she wrote it and like Ghost wrote it, and she sent it to Carrie Underwood, and she liked the song so much that she recorded it and made it into a real song.
You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy because what is she doing working at McDonald's right now? She could be writing billion-dollar hits.
Yeah.
See?
Listen, dude.
No,
The
but
thing is,
here's
when you were, I really miss out on a lot of opportunities because when you were a kid, you could just fucking do that. Like,
yeah, no,
yeah,
I
my dad
should've-
has a spaceship.
I should have lied. I should have done it. It
I
would've
should
been
have just
fun.
been a compulsive fucking liar. Because, like,
See,
you could have been so cool. Like,
You want to know the fucked up thing about the Carrie Underwood thing though? Is I was sitting there, and when she said that, me rationally thinking, I was a pretty smart kid in like 4th grade. So I was like, that's not true. And I said that out loud. I was like, that's not true. You made that up. You're lying right now. But every single other fucking person that heard her say that and was in on the conversation was like, why are you being so stupid? Why are you being so mean? She wrote that. She just said so. And I was like, guys, you can't be falling for this, right? And they're like, no. She just said she wrote it. She wrote it. And I was fighting a fucking losing battle trying to tell these kids in 4th grade that I was like, no, she did not ghostwrite Temporary Home, guys.
did I ever tell you this story? Listen, I think this episode, we've got a real theme going here about telling stories about retarded kids. But,
That's a secret.
but like, did I ever tell you the story about Casey McCullough? And you know, he's an odd fellow, and he was incredibly odd in like elementary school. So he would like him and Hunter Dilly both. And if you know anything about Hunter Dilly, this
Oh my
isn't going to
God.
surprise you at all.
Oh my god, I love the shit he would say.
Well, he used to have the nickname Dilly Goat, and I'm about to explain to you why he had that name.
Well,
He eat trash?
I feel like it's a pretty self-explanatory name. It just rhymes.
Yeah, this
with Billy
motherfucker
Goat.
would eat trash.
I fucking knew it.
And no, it wasn't even trash, dog. You're not ready for this. So me, Zane, Casey, and Hunter Dilly were all in the same 4th grade class, and Zane can attest to this. I kind of wish he had stayed long enough for me to
You
tell
keep
this story.
saying last names of people I don't even fucking know, so now I just have to censor it, and I don't even know who they are.
Okay, well, so Casey was this kid who, like, I know for a fact that, like, I'm not speculating and being rude here. He had some sort of, learning disability, and it made it really hard for him to do well in school, and it also made it hard for him to, like, interact with people social. Like, he could do it. He wasn't, like, a non-functioning person. He just didn't know how to, like, socialize and, like, behave, really. He was basically a pretty high-functioning autistic kid. I think later on in school, he kind of figured himself out. And
Is he the guy with the truck? The trucker guy?
No, he didn't have a truck. I don't. He had like a white beard. Like
What?
that's like I don't know.
What is he,
had, like,
fucking Santa Claus? What do you mean he had a
yeah,
white
he's
beard?
like fucking Santa Claus. This dude had like a white beard. Anyway, he's like a kid and he has a white beard. But anyway, so we had Miss Barheight's 4th grade class, and at Lanier we had no money. So you guys know the ancient projectors where it has like a lamp and then it flashes it up onto a mirror and then it bounces off the mirror onto the wall.
What?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
I
guys-
do. Yeah, it's where you put the
Did you
paper
guys
down
have-
on the thing and then
yeah,
it reflects
and then
it.
you draw
Yeah.
on it with like a expo marker and you can wipe it off. You put like the clear sheets of paper on there. Yeah, and the light would shine up through it. Yeah, so we basically every day, that's how she would give us our lessons, was on one of those. And so we'd all gather around the projector in the center of the classroom, and then she'd point it at the whiteboard. And we'd sit on the floor with our notebooks, and she was teaching us how to take notes, basically. So we'd spend like an hour every day having a lesson with her. And we basically had almost assigned spots. We would basically sit in the same places every time because, you know, obviously it starts off with like everyone just sit down wherever you want, and then the lights go out, and then a girl raises her hand and she goes, Miss Barheight, Hunter has his finger in my pussy, and then it's like, okay, well, he
That
can't
did
sit
not
there anymore.
That did not happen.
No, it didn't. But like, he giving me wet willies. Can you make him move? And then she'd make them move, and so we ended up with basically assigned seats in the floor. So I would sit next to both Casey and Hunter, and so we'd sit there forever, and you just hear chewing. You just hear. And then she'd turn the lights on, and both Casey and Hunter, I felt like they had a little pact going, and they would, like, in secret talk about this. But you'd just see them, they're just munching on something, and you'd ask them, like, what are you chewing on? And they go, oh, it's nothing. I don't have anything in my mouth. And, like, when they'd open their mouth to talk to you, you could see, and they would have just crammed, like, 6 pencil, or they'd have 1 pencil, and they'd somehow have like 6 pencil erasers that they'd bitten off of pencils in their mouths. I don't know where they came from. Like an entire little, the lead used to come in like for mechanical pistols would come in like the little plastic canisters, and you get like 12 pieces or whatever, and they'd have like an entire little can of fucking mechanical pencil lead in their mouth, and like you look at the paper they're writing on, and like all the corners have bite marks on them. And like every time you'd ask them, they'd be like, no, there's nothing in my mouth, and the whole time they're just and so we didn't come up with a clever nickname for Casey, but Hunter Dilly was the Dilly Goat because he just fucking put shit in his mouth. And then we had this one kid that was psychotic. His name was like, it was like Malachi or something. He's fucking insane, like literally a psychopath. He would threaten to kill kids. Like, he's like, I'm gonna get my book and throw it at your head so hard that you fucking die. And he would say the F word out loud in front of an entire class of 4th graders. This kid was fucking crazy. And like, those little like pencil protectors? It was like a transparent plastic rectangle. And it would have like, it would slide in and out, and it had like the little button on it to hold it closed. You would, like, pop the button open and then pull it out, and then all your pencils would be
I got in trouble in kindergarten because this kept happening with this one kid. There's this one kid named Cody, and I kept like accidentally just fucking hurting this guy really bad. Like one time I was closing the pencil case, like as he put his hand in it, I just closed it like really hard, and he would go over to the teacher, and the teacher's like, you're a real bully, and I was like, what?
Nope. But this Malachi kid was like, he was actually schizophrenic, I think, and he would be like, he would take those, he would steal them from people.
I don't think you can be schizophrenic as like a little kid.
Oh, trust me, you can. He was delusional.
That shit sets into like your late teens, early 20s.
Better live it up then, buddy.
Well, I don't know. If you knew this kid, you'd think otherwise, I promise. This kid was fucking insane. And
oh, yeah, by the way, Elijah, before I forget, earlier, did you say the N-word, or did it really just sound like it?
I didn't.
I don't think he did.
Okay, it really just sounded like you said the N-word.
When?
Yeah, I can't...
When you're talking about eating pencils or whatever?
No. I did not, and I don't know what I would have said that you could have confused for that. But anyway, he would steal those, like, the ones... They're not the ones that were just, like, clamshells where you'd pop the top off. They were the ones that were, like, that you would slide. They were, like, a little rectangle and you'd slide them out. He would steal those and then tear them up into little pieces and hide them inside his desk. And he would also, like, tear up the plastic on the front of kids' binders and stash it in his desk. And I would ask him, like... What are you doing with all that? And he'd be
Bad idea.
He would be like, I'm going to... this is going to get fucked up, and I just thought about this. I haven't thought about this whole story in a long time, and like, holy shit. But anyway, he's like, I'm building like a handprint holograph lock to go in front of my... in front of the opening on my desk, because I'm going to hide all my guns in here. And one day, I kind of got, he stole my pencil protector, and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking done with this. I went and told the teacher, like, yeah, he took it. And so, the classic move is, I don't know if, did you guys have the desks with cubbies under them at your elementary school?
No, we just had desks that. Well, okay,
You
well,
guys-
yeah, they
yeah.
kind of did. They had
yeah.
like an open space directly under the desk.
Yeah, and you would put like your pencils in there or whatever.
Yeah.
So she went over and she dumped it out and found mine, which he had already begun the process of taking apart to make his gun safe. And so I was
I'm
like,
going to make
whatever,
a
throw it away.
handprint
And she
scanner.
dumped it out, and he had like thousands of pencils, sheets of paper that had like psychotic scribblings all over them, like tons and tons of those little pieces of plastic that he had torn up. And then he started screaming at her, "You're an idiot! You're an idiot! You've ruined my plans. I'm going to throw books. I'm going to get you fired. I'm going to throw books at you so hard that you're going to die. I'm going to get you killed. I'm calling the police." And like, holy shit, they suspended him. He came back for like a week. I don't know what he did. I think
Probably killed somebody.
no, I'm pretty sure Zane did something to him, and then he made a threat to Zane, and that was the final straw that just got him kicked out of school permanently. I wish Zane was here to tell his stories about that kid. That Malachi is not his name. I don't remember his actual name.
Oh, you just made that up?
Yeah, I do remember his actual name, but just for fear that he might find me and shoot me with his hologram guns, I'm not going to say his name. But
That
that
is
shit was
fucking
fucking
crazy.
insane.
Oh my god, that shit is funny as fuck.
Like, I
Michael, what
cannot
are we at?
believe that happened. We should just keep going. Don't tell him.
That's fair.
We'll edit this down into a highlight reel because I am about done talking about little elementary school stories. I feel like
You
Elementary
reminded
school
me of this
shootings.
one story I had in the middle
go
of
ahead,
that.
go
But
ahead.
no, see, the thing is, you said it too long ago. I've forgotten it. I've forgotten every story I had again. I don't remember anything that happened in elementary school anymore except me, the guy with the funny last name Dodge, and Elijah, the other one, would go outside and we would dig holes, like little holes.
Yeah.
We would just go outside really far past the playground and we would just dig fucking holes. But like, we wanted ants to go in the holes. I don't know why. That was just our goal. We were like, yeah, we're gonna get every single ant into
shit
this
like
hole.
that, like when you're a little kid, the logic that you have, you're like, yeah, if I dig a fucking hole, the ants are gonna go in it.
They're
You're
gonna
like,
fall in and they won't
yeah,
be able to
and then-
get out.
And then you're
then
talking to the other
we'll
kids, and they're
win.
like, "Yeah, it makes sense to me. Let's dig a fucking hole in there." And then you're looking at it, and you're like, "You're, you're
would get,
propped
like,
up on
little
your shovel
chips.
or whatever."
we
and
would
you'd be
get like,
Yes.
like mulch.
"Yeah, that'll work. That's a pretty good hole. The ants are definitely gonna fall into that. We'll check on it tomorrow." And it's like, you guys are so confident and sure, like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Shit
we
like that
did.
was
We did a
hilarious.
lot of shit in like the summer friends program.
Oh, you were one of those kids. So you were
Yeah.
at school a lot.
Yes, I was in the summer friends program, and there Elijah was like one of my best friends. We did like so much stupid bullshit.
For context, not this Elijah.
Yeah, the other one.
The one that isn't
The
actually
evil
named
wizard
Marley.
when...
Yeah,
Evil
yeah. I
wizard.
call.
Well, I'd
well,
argue I'm more of an evil wizard, and he's more of a slumlord.
he's more of a warlock.
Yeah.
But we just did like we would go past the playground into this place where there's like this patch of dirt. That's where we would dig the holes. And for some reason, even though I guess they just didn't care. Like they weren't.
What is
getting
it with
paid
Indian
much.
dudes and saying the N word?
Dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, continue your story.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why the playground was completely flat. There were no hills or anything. They just weren't getting paid enough. We could just do whatever we want back there. There was this one time where Elijah pitched this idea. We were in like 3rd or 4th grade, and he was like, "You know what? Let's just box." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And we were, being sensible people, of course, we were like, "Yeah, don't punch each other below the waist. You're just gonna hit each other in the balls." And we would start. Dodge, he would. It was just me versus Elijah for the first couple rounds, and we never got far with this idea because for the first like 3 rounds in a row, he would go directly for a gut punch, miss, punch me in the balls. I would be like, "You just punched me in the balls," and he would be like, "I'm so sorry," and then I would
You
get,
told
I
me
would,
this
I
sounds
would,
so fucking
I
funny.
would catch my breath, and then I'd be like, "Okay." I don't need to skip around or anything. We'll just start over. You know, that just didn't happen. Then he would go for the same punch, miss the same way, punch me in the balls again. This happened 3 or 4 times.
How do you
and
punch someone in the balls? I don't get it.
He went for my gut, aimed too low, punched me in the balls really hard. This happened like 4 times in a row. I would catch my breath, he'd punch me in the balls again. We never tried this idea after that. Like, it was just, he punched me in the balls 3 times, and he never thought about boxing ever again. I don't know why the fuck. I swear he did it on purpose.
Well, yeah.
He just wanted to punch me in the balls 4 times.
And he got his way.
Yeah, he got his wish. I was none the wiser. I was like, yeah, we'll go again. I kept fucking falling for it.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. I used to. So I think this. I'm gonna conclude our little like early school story segment here with this. So you know how I am. I like to just get my dick out. And you know, I like pissing. Pissing's one of my favorite hobbies, my favorite activities. I spend a lot of my day pissing.
That's a secret.
That's a secret. So, like in 6th or 7th grade, we were out on the playground one time, and Ethan
Hey,
I can't remember the specifics of the situation, but we're in Carpenter's Middle School. The playground, it was like a field area. It wasn't really a playground. I don't really know how to describe it, but there's a basketball court, and like there was just shit for kids to fuck around and do. But yeah, we're out there, and you know, he's just like, I dare you to just whip your dick out and go piss on the fence. And like without hesitation, I did it, and I got so much clout for that shit. Like I was the coolest kid around because I whipped my dick out, and then like I don't know, like 6 months later, we're like, also Ethan,
hey.
he had been like had a girlfriend. I'm doing air quotes because you can't see it. Since like kindergarten, the same girl, and he'd never kissed her. And we're like, you're fucking gay, Ethan. Like you like boys. And he was like, no, I'll prove it. I'll kiss my girlfriend. And we were like, oh, and he was like, wait, I don't know. I shouldn't do that. And then I was like, listen, I don't know how I can't remember who it was, but I conned them. I was like, listen, if you kiss your girlfriend, this guy will go lick one of the poles on the fence.
It's the one you pissed on.
I'd swindled this kid. He was like, yeah, we're really gonna get him. We're gonna prove he's gay. And like, yeah, I made this kid just lick my piss pole. It's fucking awesome.
I don't know the specifics of it, but my dad always said that, like, you know, I don't know how he did it, but he always said like it was like a dare or something. I think like he peed on an electric fence. He always said it travels through the urine stream and right back into your penis and shocks your penis. Have you done it? I was gonna ask.
I have it on good authority that shit destroys your dick. That shit just.
I was you know, because I thought that's where I got reminded of that. I was like, did Charlie pee on an electric fence? Is that where the story's gonna go? It went in a completely different direction to someone licking your pee, but I was hoping that you peed on an electric fence.
No, I've witnessed it. I've not done it.
You've witnessed? Who did it?
I can't remember. It was at some. Man, you know, listen, I used to think that I'm, like, not a party guy. I don't really party, you know? I don't really fuck around and do crazy shit. And then I remember getting drunk in the 6th grade at Hunter White's house, and it was somebody that was at that party. They pissed on his electric fence. I can't remember who it was. But, yeah, I always thought, like, I'm not really a party guy. I don't do crazy shit. And then I remember, oh, yeah, I've always done irresponsible shit like that.
Wacky, goofy bullshit.
Like getting drunk as a 6th grader off of a handle of Fireball that we poured into half a 2-liter of like fake Dr. Pepper. It's probably Dr. Clark or something. I don't know.
Dr. Clark!
Puffing out some Dr. Clark.
I'm smoking Dr. Clark. I don't know what the fuck it was, but yeah, no, just dumb shit. I'm sorry. I've been playing GTA this whole time.
I can tell. I can hear your sprinting.
Yeah, I can hear the little. That's why I was gonna play a game, and I was gonna just be like, yeah, I'll just do this.
I'm doing surprisingly well for being like
just to
actually,
occupy my mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's ADHD. Yeah, I've really been thinking about
but
like asking.
I resisted because my controller like sounds like this.
I've really
like, really
been,
fucking loud.
I've really been thinking about trying to get them to give me meth again. Put me back
Dude.
in meth.
What?
No, because like I would be a fucking super. Like you don't understand. I would be a fucking superhero on that shit. I was a superhero on that shit. Like that shit, I could get so much done in a day. Like I would be making
You're
big bucks.
talking
I'd be
about,
working like 14-hour shifts at work.
He's talking about Adderall
Yeah,
and amphetamine, not actual blue crystal meth.
it has very similar effects. Adderall.
Well, yeah, they're both amphetamines.
Yeah, the thing is, I'd probably rather take Vyvanse because the way it works is that it's a time release. So it like instead of having a big burst of energy right when you take it, it like
Slowly distributes it.
yeah, and it's even better. I could be a zombie for even fucking longer. You guys wouldn't like me anymore though. I wouldn't be funny. I'd lose all personality.
Well, you just gotta do it when you're like making
Yeah,
rice or.
Well, no,
This
it
is
takes
thing-
it takes like 3 months for that for you to come back to normal after that, and even then, like you're a little bit like not quite right.
I don't think that's true.
Micah has taken like medication. Like, well, he's probably. More
I've taken
times
all
than
of
I
it
don't
except
recall.
for Adderall.
Yeah, there's like one time I remember him being on like a medication for like ADD, and he was just sitting at the lunch table and he just couldn't say anything.
Yeah, it does that to you.
He was
I
just
could not
trying.
think of a single thing
He
to
was
say.
trying to talk, but he just couldn't think of any words, so he just said nothing.
Yeah, it happened like that sometime for me too. The reason they gave it to me, like usually they give it to kids for real reasons, like he can't get anything done or he keeps losing shit. But for me, it was just this kid won't shut the fuck up.
Oh
So-
yeah, that I got in trouble so much for just talking
Well,
my
yeah,
ass off.
I also
but
had all
but
of
I
the
always
other
got-
symptoms, but
I also like I got my work done, but I just like would always get in trouble in elementary school because I would just like never shut the fuck up. And I
Yeah.
also they had to sit me in the back of the class because this like died down, especially because like I think middle school onward we got those stupid desks that were attached to the chairs. So that didn't help.
I got a really funny one.
But they had to sit me in the back of the class because I would always stand up when I worked and I would not shut up. And
they hate when you stand up.
my
They
teacher was
fucking
fine with
hate
it. Like at the time, like she was just like, I guess we gotta sit him in the back. I sat next to like Caleb, who is it was Caleb Colley. He was fucked up. he was when the teacher would hand out a test, he would hide under his desk and would be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it.
I don't know what it is with dudes named Caleb, but they always got like one funny goofy trait. I've never met a normal Caleb, and honestly, they're blessed. 'Cause
He never did any like normal work, and the teacher like gave up after a certain point. She's like, "Yeah, I can't make you do that, I guess." But like when a test would come out, she'd be like, "Okay, you have to do this
Zach-
one," and he would hide.
Zach, I don't know why, but you reminded me of something, and it's not the one that made me laugh just moments ago. It's another really funny one, but I remember, and I've told this, but not on the podcast. We're sitting in fucking freshman year AP Human Geography, and I can't remember what fucking test it was. Like, you had studied so hard for this test, and you were like, yeah, I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna get a perfect score on this test or something. Mr. Tally comes around and hands them out, and I didn't see what grade you got, and I didn't want to ask, because I was kind of sad for you, but, like, you were, like, you were, like, fuming. You were so fucking angry. You turned bright red and started shaking and crying because you were so fucking
I don't
angry.
think that was me. I don't.
No, it definitely was, and I can't remember what test it was,
No,
but
that-
you were fucking pissed,
No, that
Zach.
couldn't have been me because I I don't do that. Like when I get a bad grade, I don't do that. I'm just like, yeah. Like I think I would remember if that was me.
Dude, I remember
I
this
think
girl named
maybe
Destiny.
wait,
It wasn't
okay.
Vaughn. I know it wasn't Vaughn.
no, that I think it was Vaughn. Cause
Really?
I
It was.
I
It
swear,
had to have been one of you two, but
well,
maybe it was.
yeah, because
when
it
was
was
this?
the three, it was the three of us in that class. I was like,
Yeah, we were like
I
some
think it was
fucking
Vaughn, because I think I
goons.
remember him. I remember him like getting a paperback and he like put his head down or some shit. Like
Yeah.
I could have sworn that happened.
Bro, he would always come into class smelling like some fucking Hardee's.
Yeah, from what I remember, Zach, like, I wasn't, like, in a lot of classes with Zach past, like, 7th grade because, like, I left and shit, but, like, whenever Zach would get, like, a bad grade, he, like, would not care. And I remember, like, one day his mom was, like, there, and she was like, you know, yeah, bad grades or something. And he's like, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter. And she was like, you got a point.
No.
That was
See,
real. He was like,
Yeah,
it's middle school.
that's why I'm saying like that person couldn't have been me.
we fucking gamed the system in that class, Zach. I don't know if
Oh
you
my
were on the
God.
same fucking strategy I was, where we would just. I think you were. I
would-
didn't read a page of that book. Did you read a page of that
no, I
book?
never
Yeah, okay,
fucking
we were on the
read that
same fucking page. So what
I-
we'd do is we'd take those quizzes, which had every single test question on them. He'd say, listen, it's going to be most of the test questions, but I'm going to throw a couple zingers on the tests that aren't on the fucking quiz. So that way I know for real if you read the book or not. And he never fucking did. It was just,
nah.
we took 5
I-
quizzes per unit, and then the unit test was the quiz questions, which he gave us the answers for, and a free response section. And let me tell you, buddy, I was so good at bullshitting that free response section.
I should have taken that big test at the end of that class because I did really poorly in that class.
I got
'cause
college
was-
credit on it.
Yeah, I should have tried for that. I could have gotten it, I bet. But
Yeah, I
like,
got a fucking 4 on it. That shit was easy peasy.
I just didn't feel like it. Like it costed like 90
Yeah,
bucks
it was
to do,
expensive. I got
like-
it for free because we were. I grew up really poor. It wasn't until like junior or senior year of high school that my mom, who is our only source of income, made a living wage for a single person. So before that, we were mad fucking poor. And yeah, so I was on free and reduced lunch, so they let me take it for free.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay like the 90 bucks to take the test. I just didn't want to take a test. I should have though, because I got like a bad grade in that class. It was passing, of course.
Well,
But,
yeah,
like,
but it wasn't what we wanted.
yeah, I could have
like-
gotten a good grade if I had taken that.
Just like-
Everyone said it was easy as shit, and it
He
like
gr-
bumps your grade way up.
He would like grade. I was like a fucking like. I like to sit and think of myself like I was a good kid. I did well in school. I applied my. No, I was a little fucking shithead from the beginning.
Yeah, I was a
I've
total
been a
shithead.
slacker, fucking shit, piece of shit asshole. And like the only thing. Listen, first let me finish the story. So basically, for like the two people here that weren't in that class, what it was is you'd have like daily reading. You'd have to read so many pages in this textbook. You'd take notes on it. You'd bring him in, and basically he'd be like, yeah, you wrote enough notes. I think you actually read this. Or, no, you didn't write down enough. I can tell that you just skimmed through and kind of picked out a couple pieces to make it look like you did your notes. But see, me being the fucking genius I was, I just didn't fucking touch it. Ever. I didn't bring notes in, and he'd be like, come on, Elijah, you got to bring notes in. And he actually liked me, and I joined there's a club that he moderated, and I did it for the rest of high school, and I was one of his favorite kids. But like, yeah, he would be like, come on, man, you gotta actually fucking do something. And then he'd give us a quiz on what we read that night, and I would bomb the quiz, but then I just you'd grade it yourself, so he'd give you the answers. So I just memorized the answers, and then all those questions were the quiz. So I would get fucking like near perfect scores on the tests and just not do anything else. It was so fucking easy. And then we never fucking I maybe speaking for myself here, but I barely like studied for that mapping thing. We'd have to point at the board and map the
Oh
countries
yeah,
of the world.
I kind of suck at geography. I wasn't
But
good
we
at that. We were
pretty
doing
fucking good. We were
Yeah.
for us like not trying at all. We were fucking going crazy. And the like anyway, the thing that I just thought about is that like I miss being just like absolutely unhinged. Like there was a good period last year where like all I really did was just like fucking I would just like eat like twice a week and like smoke cigarettes and weed and jerk off and then get on Discord and fucking act a fool and then go get drunk somewhere. And you know, my life has structure now and I that's cool and all, but that shit is fucking fun. Like I
Yeah.
want to go back to that. I just want to be like wash my clothes whenever I feel like it, take a shower 3 times a week, fucking just get high and fucking jerk off.
This guy want to be my new Earl.
Maybe that's why I love the show so much, is because it's my dream life.
I gamed like all of high school actually.
Bro, school in general is a joke, and then they throw you in college, and it's just like, yeah.
harder to
So
game,
we have
and it's
found,
expensive.
yeah, you're gonna pay money for us to make sure that you. I wouldn't see like gaming the system is a bad way to put it. That's just how I learn.
Yeah,
And like they have systems in place in college to prevent you from learning that way. So like,
I
what the fuck?
know. Like, see, all of English class. I don't know if that teacher, like, she probably hated me. I was like a bit of an ass, but like she would hand out these things. She'd be like, "Okay, you're gonna have to annotate your notes on this." I think I would just hand her like a blank sheet of paper, and I would be like, it would have my name on it, and I'd be like, "All right, here's my notes," and she'd be like, "Seriously?" And I'd be like, "Yep," and she would accept it, and then I passed that class with like an A or a B still.
Yep.
Like
Is it
I
the
just
teacher-
It was
wouldn't
easy.
wouldn't do what they asked, and then I would pass the class, and I'd be like, "All right, on to the next grade."
All right, listen. Time for our new segment. It's called Micah Bailey. Is he getting pussy right now? Give us a scoop, Micah. What's the situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Is that
for
the whole
you.
segment?
The segment has come to a close. You heard it here, folks. First, fuck, I can't speak. You heard it here first, folks. Mike is getting laid.
Congratulations.
W.
Is the pussy good?
No.
I'm just
You
trying
complete-
to
you've
invite
completely
you
stumped
into
him
the. I'm
with the
just trying to
segment.
invite you in.
Well,
You've
we've been telling stories about school. I know
Yeah.
Micah has a bunch of them.
Yeah, but he's been kind of quiet, so I just figured I'd rope him in and make him talk somehow, and he still found a way to not say anything.
Well, you see, school sucked. You know.
Yeah, he had a
I'm like
completely
done
different
talking
school
about
experience.
it, basically.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of I don't want to think about school anymore.
Basically, for me, you know that when I came to like that whole semester I had with you guys in high school, that was pointless. All I got from that is a drama credit. Every other
Yeah.
class I failed, like I think, except for like science, I think. So that shit was pointless. That was just a waste of my time.
Yeah. I miss tech school because it was like I'm basically living on government money to just come to school and vape and smoke weed for 6 hours a day and like air quotes weld while I just sit here and talk about vaping
That
and smoking
sounds
weed with
so
6 other
fucking funny.
degenerates. That shit was fucking awesome. I would just go we would just get like 6 dudes deep in a fucking booth and just like smoke weed. That was our whole day for like 5 days a week, 6 hours for a year. Just like completely paid for by the government.
What was the thing about people like jerking off in the
Leave the
bathroom?
Oh, I did it.
Yeah.
Bro, no, I never got caught. Nobody knows. You guys are the first that are hearing about this. Like, I don't think there was a single bathroom in the middle school I went to or that high school that I did not bust a nut in.
Dude.
Yeah, I was like severely addicted to jerking off up until very recently. And I'm about to relapse. It's not gonna take much. Like I have an issue. It's
right.
more like I'm like 6 months on and then like 3 months off on the whole jerking off thing.
Oh, like welding.
Yeah. So, Mike, are we gonna have to put a seam in here and make this 2 episodes? Because I'm not done talking.
I mean, we're at 1 hour 35 minutes.
Oh, just like you said you wanted.
Yeah, just fucking end it and then start it again. And
Well,
we'll
guys,
do
that was a
another
good
intro.
episode.
Yeah.
Well, guys, see you in the next one in 40 seconds.
Yeah.